Gets it to LeBron for three for the win. Yes! LeBron James at the buzzer!
Gordon cut through. They go to Barrett. He'll turn and shoot for the win.
Bingo!
So at the very beginning of all of my episodes of All American Hoops, as you've been on my show before, and as people have seen before, including those that are watching this network, it's under this network. I start off with all right, and then I introduce everyone, and then I do the number for which episode it was. I stopped keeping track for NBA Max because we've had enough episodes now in which I didn't have to do the intro. But last week we actually just got past episode 89. So we're running out of numbers for what to do there.
I can only imagine. Yeah, 89. Geez.
Yeah. So yes. So we announced the episode number, and then we say like an athlete that wore that number. So we had Clem from Barstool Sports on last week, and he's New York Knicks, New York Giants, New York Mets. So we talked about the Mets the entire time and the MLB trade deadline because that was going on. So yeah, we were able to do that. But I was saying once we get to episode 100, it's going to be pretty tough. And we made the decision that's when we're going to start announcing famous athletes' birthdays. So that's probably the best route to go because we can't do numbers anymore.
I love it. That's a great idea. Yeah, man. Once you get to those high numbers, obviously, it's certainly becomes super difficult. I mean, you got the guys like Rodman and stuff that had kind of the odd jersey numbers, but really,
exactly. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. But how you doing, man? Yeah, Our host Sportsland will be on in a few minutes, but yeah, just us a little bit. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. I've been really excited for the NBA season to come about. I have to tell you, I've got like big time blue balls because right now I'm just I'm so excited to see Cooper Flag perform. I really want to see the way that these new trades look out. I really want to see how Kevin Durant looks with Houston. You know, it's just like, oh man, I really am having a hard time. I just really want the NBA season to be here.
I feel like I say this every year. I definitely said it last year, and I feel like I could definitely say it this year too, to where I can go through each team and like maybe like one or two of them I'd like zero interest in. With like at least one of them, there's like I'm really excited to see this. Like if we go through like the bottom of the standings in the East, so like the Wizards, okay, Bub Carrington and Alex are okay, they're going to be an irrelevant team, but like two young guys that might be fun to see. The Hornets stink, but like again, LaMelo Ball is always a fun show to watch, including now Brendan Miller, hopefully healthy. Sixers are going to be back and healthy. Hopefully, like, they're not going to be healthy. We don't know about that, but they're at least a fun potential to watch. And then even the Nets, like the Nets don't have I guess the Nets might be the exception because they really don't have they really don't have much to look out for. But that being said, like Cam Thomas and MPJ, like they're not going to be a good duo, but they're going to be a fun duo at the very least.
100%. I agree with you. I think the parity in the league is so exciting because you put on Game Pass right now and literally you could just put it on any game and you could find superstars. You know, that's the exciting thing about the NBA is I think that everywhere, top to bottom, there's somebody worth watching. There's a narrative worth watching. There's a story worth watching. So yeah, like 100%. I agree that like it's great to see these players in these positions, you know, really pan out and see these superstars kind of turn into things. And yeah, even the lower teams have stories and narratives that really make it interesting to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Yeah. Just like I said, every team has something interesting to look out for. And not only that, you mentioned the parity of the league. So like, I would say there's more parity in the East, given that there's the weaker teams, because like the West, I think it's very clearly, but like again, like this is as of now, I think like the tier of the Thunder, the Rockets, and the Nuggets, and there's a pretty big drop off after that. But then after that, there's a lot of fun teams. You got the Clippers, who are old as dirt, but they're still like a fun team. They're gonna be a fun team to look out for. And even like the Lakers are a team to look out for. You know, Luka just signed that extension yesterday. The Timberwolves, who have made back-to-back conference finals, like they seem to be a team that gets left out of discussions. But like, yeah, who knows? Who knows what happens? And like, it's another season that's a win for the NBA for parity.
Really, 100%. Because I mean, you look at these guys. Yeah, like you said, I mean, Minnesota has a shot. The Nuggets have a shot. You know, the Lakers have a shot. And you can make a compelling argument for each one of these squads before the season starts and not sound ridiculous, which is what I think is the most exciting part is, you know, each one of these squads on paper seems to fulfill some sort of like, okay, this team really could make it. If I could see a way this guy could make it to the NBA Finals. I can see the way the Clippers could make it. I can see a way the Lakers could make it. I can see a way the Nuggets could make it. I mean, that's so exciting to me because, there's so many teams that genuinely have a shot. I mean, obviously, you and I are disappointed because the Celtics don't have the shot that we were hoping with Jason Tatum being out. But I mean, obviously, given that aside, and trying to put our Jason Tatum sadness in a compartment, I really do think that the NBA is in a great place, and it's going to be an exciting season for sure.
And one more thing to be excited about, because we talked about the teams. Now let's talk about the players, because let's go in the West again. And let's list off the players where we don't think we wouldn't be shocked. Let's not we wouldn't be shocked if they made the All-Star game. So
all right, yeah.
Go to the thing. So SGA, J-Dub, Chet, Kevin Durant, Şengün. You putting Amin Thompson there?
Amin Thompson is about as close as you could possibly get.
So would you be shocked if you made it? How about that? Would you be shocked?
No. So
no.
I'll
So that's
right.
Yeah, a lot. So 6. LeBron and Luka, 7 and 8. I'm not going to include Reeves. I feel like I'd be pretty surprised. Jokic and won't include Murray. He usually doesn't make it, but let's maybe this is the year.
It seems appropriate to include him. Yeah.
He seems to be that gap between it's he or CJ McCollum are the two best players to never make the All-Star game. Feels so yeah. So that's 15. Exactly. I think is that 15 we listed, or is it or is it 10? Oh, no, it's 15, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Kawhi. He's probably the only All-Star. Oh, Harden too.
Harden, yeah.
Harden. Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle. That's 20. Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Who was on the Warriors? I'm not going to say Draymond, even though
Draymond's the only guy you could possibly.
And then the Grizzlies, we got John Moran and Jaren Jackson Jr. Both of them are possibilities. And then the Kings, I guess, Sabonis. Yeah, Sabonis. Yeah, Sabonis
is probably the clear one. Yeah.
Yeah, Sabonis is the clear one, and then maybe DeRozan and Levy. But the point is, we can go into easily. There's only 12 spots, but at least there's going to be at least 30 options, and yeah,
there's going to be so many quality people not making it. I mean, look at last year. Sabonis, didn't make it, and Sabonis is Jokic light. This guy is a 2010 and 7 that all day and night would make the All-Star team under ordinary circumstances. So it's just the talent top to bottom, man. It's just extraordinary. I genuinely feel bad for people that aren't fans of the NBA.
Me too. I always say that it's and we were talking about this the other day on I mentioned it last week how we were doing a special episode strictly for baseball because obviously we talked a little bit. You follow baseball here and there, which is not as much as the NBA, but I would say baseball is a very close second for me. And there's the talk going around now about a potential lockout because they want to implement the salary cap, and we're talking about how they're in a bad spot too. But we basically just said we don't really hear about the scandals enough about the NBA owners, but we talk about how there's always scandals with the MLB owners and how. But luckily with the Mets owner, we talk about how. Basically, if I were a billionaire, that's exactly what I would be. I'd buy my favorite team and I'd spend all my money on them because that's how crazy I am.
I love it. That's the dream right there, right?
Yeah. Never. Don't trust a billionaire unless they buy a sports team because otherwise you're just a weirdo if you're not going to buy a sports team. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why Elon Musk is so strange. It's because he doesn't own a sports team.
That's the only reason why he doesn't buy a sports team.
Clearly. If he owned a sports team, I would trust him a million times more.
Absolutely. So before our fellow Laker fan hops on, why don't we take 5 seconds just to talk about the NBA discourse around TikTok? As you sent me the video today of someone talking about Larry Bird, about how it would translate into today's NBA, which I want to hear your thoughts on it first. Because I know you have pretty strong feelings about it, but so do I. But it lies deeper with me. I feel like so. Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
I was gonna make a stitch. I actually a shout out to the guy the original content creator because I'm definitely gonna stitch that video because it was one of those things where like I know everyone's on here for shock value. I know everyone's on here for clickbait. I know we're all, at the end of the day, kind of looking for views.
Of course.
I totally get that. I do, and I'm not gonna dismiss or make fun of anybody that does it in a certain way. I get it, but at the same time, there are like certain claims that just become obnoxious, and Lauri Markkanen and Larry Bird being compared to one another is one of those that just to me is just obnoxious. Like it's clickbait in its rarest form, and it's just I understand. I'm a Celtics guy. I understand that I definitely have a little more Larry Bird bias than probably most people. I'm totally aware of that, and I'm self-aware of that. But still, like to compare this guy to somebody like Lauri Markkanen and say that these guys are on the same level, and or Bird would be just this guy if he played in today's league is just it's ridiculous to me. There's nothing to substantiate those claims. And if we're going to play the hypothetical games, why don't we get into the hypothetical situation where Bird is, working with new trainers? Bird is with guys that are treating him with spacing and, all these different levels. Like, why do we just treat it in this microcosm where Bird just can't make it in today's NBA? It drives me nuts, that type of conversation. And I know it drives you nuts as well, but
Yep.
To me, it's not honest discourse. And I guess that's what makes me kind of ticked off, I suppose.
The hypothetical you forgot to add was Bird not realizing that he's rich and that he can hire someone to do his mom's for driveway rather than someone else.
Like ginormous piece, someone doing his driveway for him, right?
Yeah. So, but yeah, that you nail on that. There is the dishonesty discourse, because like I'm all for like having the discussions about whether or not certain players like would be not even would they be good, but like how would they adjust? You want to say like oh Bird wouldn't be good today? Okay, why? Tell me about his game that would make it so that he's not as good. Okay, he's not as athletic. Okay, neither are debatably two of the people were saying Luka and Jokic were the two best players in the NBA. That was the discussion, and you tell me the Birds not athletic enough, but they are. Okay, so that picks apart your argument already. So but with Bird in general, we don't need more, because at least if you're going to say it with like some like the big men back then, if you're going to say it with like Bill Russell or like a Moses Malone, like neither of them were like as great, and they were just like using their size mismatches, they wouldn't be as good today. Okay, that's a valid reason. I don't care personally. I'd rather just evaluate you based on how you played. But Bird, it's just not reality with Bird. It's the whole his whole thing is that like he's the most portable player in the of all time. I feel like whenever I see an all-time draft with like legitimate people saying like, a lot of pick Bird pretty early, because as we mentioned, I always do this before, whenever I have to give my elevator pitch on Bird. Okay, he entered the league with a 19-win team, and then he turned them. Oh, no, wait, not 19, 29, but if one still plays, so a 29-win team, and he turned them into a 60-win team. The team improved around him, but like Bird was the main reason for that. And not only did he just improve the team, he did it by being already the best 3-point shooter in the league. It was the rookie year, which is his first year doing it, and then in addition to that, he was passing at like a best in the world mindset. Like obviously Magic and probably John Stockton were better than him at the time. But
that's the list.
It's probably right. Yeah. And in addition to that, he's rebounding he's I know that he's 6'9", so like he's not really that big, much of a small forward, but like he's still rebounding as much as the big men are. So
dude, like the 1981 NBA Finals, people try to knock him for with like the 15.3 rebounds per game. Moses Malone averaged 15.3 rebounds per game in that same series. He was averaging the same amount of rebounds as Moses Malone in his second year in the league. Like, I understand maybe he wasn't scoring effectively, but like, come on, guys! Like, this guy is clearly special.
Yeah, it just drives me. It drives me crazy, because he's like with certain people, like it just comes to like a lack of education, which fine, like that's understandable. But like just conversations like these are just so intellectually dishonest to where like you actually think that a player like Larry Bird, like his play style is not going to translate into today's NBA. Like he's, if anything, like if you want to say that about someone named Magic Johnson, I don't know if you can hear me because he just joined the lobby, but wouldn't be as good today. That's one thing, but Larry Bird is the last player to say that about. He's the most portable player of all time.
100%, and that honestly, that's why I've been so big on Cooper Flag. Not to kind of make this
I like that,
topical,
yeah.
but it's scalability, and that's what Larry Bird to me represents is scalability. He's one of those guys that I feel like you could introduce his style of play to any team, and he's going to make that team better because he's going to fill the gaps. He's going to be the rebounder. He's going to be the passer. He's going to be the shooter. He's going to be what you need to fill the gaps on that squad and take you over the top. And I feel like not a lot of players have, there are floor risers, there are ceiling risers, there are different types. And then there are the scalable guys that can kind of do a little bit of both. And to me, Larry Bird is one of those scalable types where you introduce him to any system, he's going to find the way to produce.
Absolutely. Yeah, cool.
Here's our guy. Here he is.
How we doing?
Let me ask you a question. And we got to go off basketball in a minute, but I want to start with, because I was listening to you here for a second. Hello, how are you?
Can't complain.
Because I knew you took a shot at Magic because...
That was the only reason why.
But I'm curious. I'm curious to know something. When you say something like that, are you just kidding? Or do you really believe that?
Honestly, I'm not going to speak for Chris, and
sure.
I don't mean to take over here, but I think of the two,
you have to talk more, because someone in the comments last week said, what were you doing? You didn't say enough.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently I don't chat enough. Here we go. Here it goes. It goes. Larry Bird to me is more scalable than Magic Johnson in today's game. I think Larry Bird would be more successful. I think Magic would still be elite, but I think Larry Bird's game scales better in today's atmosphere.
So explain that to me. So where would his 8'6", slow-footed, unathletic, for today's game, in comparison to today's game?
So do you think this is another? I feel like I don't know if this is me pivoting or if it's a legitimate question. Would Magic be better fit as a power forward or a point guard in today's NBA?
Oh no, he would be a point forward, whether it's a point forward, like power forward, or even a center.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So that's the most important thing to establish. He'd still be really effective as that point forward, like power forward, like guarding some centers on certain nights, but like still pushing the pace like he would be elite at. Like he'd kind of be he'd be like a better version of I don't want to say better version. I'd say he'd probably be like the second best transition player in the league outside of Giannis, probably.
I see Magic, and listen, I'm talking about Magic, like the Magic I know, not necessarily the Magic that everyone, most people don't know this Magic. Most people don't know Magic at all, let's be honest.
No.
And what they do know, they probably saw like clips from the 90s. And I mean 90s, like when he returned, like I mean, even 92 as a dream team isn't really the Magic I know. Right? The Magic, like the 92, he had already found out that he had contracted HIV. And you saw that he was already slower, out of shape. Like it was starting to kick in, because I guarantee he wasn't working like he originally was. But I'm talking about like 80, 81, 82, 80, like that Magic. Mm-hmm. Go back and watch the tape. He was in much better shape, and he could get up and down the floor. Now, was he jumping through the roof? No. But picture like minus the defense, he's like if you took Draymond role on the offensive side of the Warriors and Jokic and put them together, because he's about Draymond's size. And I admit, you take away the defense of Draymond.
Yeah.
But that's what he's going to do, right? He's going to facilitate. He's going to probably bring up the ball when he can, or he's going to run down and come off like a curl to the high post and do something, whether it's drive, a little baby hook, or dish, obviously more than. And in this open kind of lane era, I think he'd be great. why I when you said more so than Magic, I'm like, I believe Larry Bird will translate 100%. But I also say that every great player will translate in every era because they'll adapt. That's I think that's anyone who disagrees is just not paying attention.
Yeah.
With that being said, I'm struggling. I want to have before we watch the tape. I want to have that conversation about Bird because where would he play? What position?
So 6'9", right? Larry Bird 6'9". So I'm picturing like Luka mixed with like Kevin Durant mixed with Draymond Green. And I understand that three kind of sounds a little weird, but I feel like Bird kind of had Draymond's edge. So that's kind of why I lean that way a little bit when it came to like his trash talking and his bullshitting, you know. But
it depends which part of Luka's game because he's not as good of a ball handler as Luka is.
He's not, but I think he's just as good a passer. So I think the passing playmaking portion of things is where I kind of see the Luka portion, and then the shooting tidbit, and then adding kind of that edge. I just see a guy that fits in a lot of different models across the league. You know, you can plug and play that guy, and that guy's going to make sense in a lot of different schemes, as opposed to Magic, who I think would be excellent in today's game, just doesn't necessarily plug into as many schemes because he kind of is the scheme.
I feel like he fits every offense in today's NBA better because he's going to be the guy that facilitates, and there's so few guys who actually want to pass the ball.
Well,
my issue with Bird is when you say like Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant has a combination of height. He's significantly taller. He's 7 foot tall. Like he's significantly taller than Bird. He's got a much longer wingspan, so his release is higher. And people tend to forget, not today, at his best, Durant was also surprisingly athletic. Absolutely. And my issue with Bird would be, yes, I agree the passing aspect of it, but where does a guy fit in who's not a great ball handler, who isn't very fast? So like Luka makes up for his lack of speed through other things, like he's shifty and he can handle the ball. Bird is a little stiff, and so he's not jumping over. He's not jumping over anybody.
Well, he's not, but he's still like a little. He's still kind of agile in the sense like he's able to get like from spot A to spot B pretty quickly. Like like you said, like he's not like necessarily like the best ball handler or even like the best driver, but like he's able to get from point A to point B, and because he's able to.
And sorry, what position? Because you gave me 3 names, but you didn't say where he would play on the court.
I guess I think he'd still be the 3 probably.
Yeah, I'm seeing a point forward 3.
See, I see him more as a power forward.
And
I see him as a stretch 4 who could, but also can play make. And the reason I say that is, if you think of the small forwards in today's NBA, they're all like Swiss Army knife athletic, like long wings.
Right.
And I think because of his mobility, not lack of, but mobility, he'd be more effective at the 4, right? Because he can post you up. He'll kill you in the mid range, and then if they've got another big, he can step out and knock down the 3 with ease. So now you've got their big man going out on him, and you're like, damn it. And then if they try to throw a double at him or a zone him up, he's going to pass through that, and then you're cooked. And I think but that's why I say, like, I think Magic could do a couple of more. I think they both translate. I think they both fit. I think Magic is more suited for today's game than Bird, but Bird, they both have to change where they play. Then neither one of them would be where they were. They'd have to shift into, because like most of the centers are 6'9", 6'10".
That's true. Well, you don't think that Bird's shooting would give him the edge theoretically, given that like he'd be shooting 8 to 12 threes a game?
As they played then, yes. But because I also know at the end of Magic's career, when he started to slow down, he came into the league as a horrible shooter. By the end of it, he was actually a really good shooter.
Yeah.
So I think both of them would adapt. Bird would be the better 3-point shooter. But I think Magic's passing is better. And he's a little bit quicker. Like, I mean, he's a little bit quicker. He's a little bit more athletic, and I think that just helps him a little bit in today's. But yeah, I think both will be great. Let me pause.
Neither one would be Lauri Markkanen. Let's just say that much.
Yeah, like someone is that what someone said? They'd be Lauri Markkanen?
Yeah, someone said Larry Bird is Lauri Markkanen, and that's what started the whole controversy.
I think he said he'd be worse than him, actually. Isn't that what he said?
He said he's worse than Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
if Bird and Magic were playing right now in their prime.
Yes.
Okay. The conversation would be, who's the best player in the NBA? Jokic, Bird, Giannis, Magic, Luka. That would be the conversation.
Yeah.
And they'd actually be really happy because they'd be like, oh, at least there's a couple of Americans in that conversation.
For sure.
They'd be the face of the league.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, easily.
Like
they
this
already were. Yeah.
Like dead ass, stone cold, like Lauri Markkanen is a better player than Larry Bird, given all the parameters. And I don't get it. It drove me nuts. That's why I had to talk about it. But like, yeah, I don't know.
I'm even starting to get annoyed with like people who agree with me.
Yeah.
Like, no, seriously, they're so dumb. I got into it today. You guys know on X this guy Apex Jones?
Yes.
Okay.
I've heard of that name, yeah.
You've heard it? Okay. I've seen it like, because anytime I defend Michael Jordan or no, when people ask me who my GOAT is, I say Jordan, and they go, why? And I go, oh my god, it's like 187 points, guys. Like, seriously, like, why? This is such a stupid question. But okay, I'm tired of the debate. But when I see things that are wrong, I'll go on and correct them. And for the most part, I correct things that are sent to me by people, and people typically send me the MJ stuff. And I say, well, and then the other guys go, oh, why don't you do that for LeBron? I go, send it to me. I've asked a million times, send me your LeBron fake stuff, right? And I will and I will, if it's wrong, I'll correct it. Right? I go, send me. I just did this on Twitter on TikTok. I go, send me the video that says LeBron can't go left. Send me the article where some dude made up a story about watching 6 games that he never watched and that he never got these steals and blocks, and then I go watch 4 of the 6 because I don't have access to the other 2. I go 4 of the 6 and I find out that he's wrong, and then we go and watch other games in that same season, and he had like 5 steals one game and they only gave him 4. I go, give me the equivalent of Michael Jordan's podcast where he tries to rewrite history and lie about Jameer Nelson really unlocked the Orlando Magic offense. Really, he didn't play since February, and your damn series was in May. How did Jameer Nelson unlock the offense when he was in a hospital bed? Like, as my kid would say, stop the cap.
That's a Roger Clemens.
But he wasn't. JJ wasn't interviewing for the job. Like when he was.
No, he wasn't interviewing for the job. And then the best part was, and I said, JJ played 10 minutes that series. So, dude, you're sitting on the bench watching. You should know exactly who was on the court. And then he had the audacity to say, I just watched the game again. Then how do you not know who was playing? But anyways, so I said, give me the equivalent of those, and I'll say, hey, they're wrong. Like what? And I got one. I won't lie. I got one sent to me that said, can you disprove about the JJ Barea locking up LeBron? And I'm like, yeah, 100%. He was on him like twice. And the one time he got him, he missed a shot that honestly had nothing to do with JJ's Barea's defense. He just missed a shot and JJ happened to be standing in front of him. The second time, Dirk was hedging. JJ was on him and he was too focused on Dirk, who was hedging, and he dipped his shoulder in, and JJ did a great job of taking a charge. That was the 2 possessions. He did well, but he's not the reason LeBron choked that 2011 series away. LeBron was the reason he choked that 2011 series away. And I openly will say that. 100%. So the issue then becomes, well, how come you say that I'm one thing, and I say, okay, send me the other, and you can't. Like I say, send it to me, and you can't. And yet the MJ fans send them. So back to the beginning of this, the Apex Jones thing. So I posted this picture that I thought was like on Instagram that I thought, and I guess Facebook, because my Instagram goes to my Facebook. And I'm like trolling a little bit, but it's still kind of funny. This picture here where it's like all these guys lined up to be like Mike, and all these guys lined up to be like Bron. And in the bottom, you can see in the line to be like Mike is actually Kobe and LeBron. Right? So I think it's funny. You can laugh about it. So Apex then posts that exact picture, and it's super cool because the players are actually going into the doors. They're moving. And I'm like, dude, how did you do that? Thanks. And hey, give me credit for the picture too, by the way. LOL. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't make that. It's some AI. I don't mess with AI. Somebody on Facebook sent it to me. Why are you asking for credit? I don't see your watermark on there. And I'm like, because I'm trying to find out how you did it because it's cool. And here you can see that I posted it, right? Like, and then he starts like getting like all like angry. You punk blah 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 blah. I'm like, dude, I get it. You're always in defense mode because like you're on X all day, like literally all day, arguing with people. I get it. I go, I'm not coming at you like that. I'm asking you how you did it because it's cool,
Right.
And he's like, again, and then I say, and I go, you didn't even give credit to the person who made it. You literally posted it as your own. So, oh yeah, he got mad at me. He's like, why are you assuming that I stole it from you and I made it? I said, because you posted it as your own. No, I didn't. I go, you didn't give credit to the person who made it, who sent it to you on Facebook. I've been giving that person credit my whole life. It's my little brother. You said it was someone on Facebook just like sent it to you. What, my brother isn't someone? No, you wouldn't say some random on Facebook sent it to you if it was your brother, and then post it and then post it as your own. And then when I ask you why, I didn't know, you should watermark your stuff next time. I go, you're missing the point. Anyways, at the end of the day, I go, you're either a liar or a thief. So you either stole it and did it yourself with AI. So that you're a thief. Because it's content and like people steal your content so much. It's like, dude, like at some point you're like, sure, you like give credit where stop just stealing it. But anyway, I said, you're either a thief or a liar. I said, which one? Because you either took the picture, threw some AI on it, and so you stole it, so you're a thief, or you're lying because you said someone random on Facebook sent it to you and then said, oh, it was my brother. How do you think he responded?
I was assuming he blocked you.
Like a punk ass coward would. Absolutely. He blocked me. Right. Yeah. And it's like, dude, like you're so, and the best was he messaged me at like one of the responses. And I think like, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes went by. I was driving, my son had a doubleheader today, baseball. I was driving back from the baseball game. Crickets, where are you? Why aren't you responding? I'm like, I don't live on any social media, let alone X, where all the losers hang. So anyways, so I thought that was funny because then I was like, so that's your response. You're a coward, and then you block the person. Who's the coward if you're blocking the person? So anyway, so that's the type of like everybody is just they're nuts. But I really wanted to start
making sense. Like, I don't understand where the offense comes from. I don't understand where, like, doubling down on being rude comes from. Like,
yeah, I'm like, dude, I was asking you, like, I even said LOL, like when I said, hey, don't forget to give me credit, LOL. Right. Maybe that's an old guy thing that I still think that means I'm kidding.
Right.
Oh, if you were kidding, you'd DM me. Like, your DMs aren't even open. Yes, they are. And then he opens it and sends it to me. I'm like, no, I knew you're crazy. I take when I see someone's DMs aren't open, I take a picture. Because if I'm going to say it, I take the picture first, and then I tell them. And he goes, yes, they are. And I go, no, they weren't. Here's the picture. Yeah. And then he sent me voicemails. So check this out. Oh, let me play you the voicemail. Right before he blocked me, to be very clear.
Yeah, this is juicy.
You fucking coward.
Did you guys hear that or no?
Yeah.
You fucking coward.
You blocked me. Hunk. Anyways, what I wanted to start the show with was this, and then we were going to jump right into the game 6, NBA Finals 1981. Can Larry Bird actually play in today's era? Am I, those clips where you see, am I the asshole when they're reading it? Okay, we're going to do that. That's our segment today. Am I the asshole? I'm playing Scrabble with Mrs. Fluent and my 11-year-old twins. And and there's no more letters left. Have you guys played Scrabble? You know how to play Scrabble. There's no letters left in the bag. So, whoever finishes their words first gets a bunch of bonus points and stuff and typically wins, right? Okay. I have the word dragnet. Dragnet. It's a police term. 7 letters. It's my turn. And if I put it on, I get because it's all 7 letters, so you get a 50-point bonus for that. So I get 90 points, and I beat them all by I finish with 200, and they're not even at 100 yet, and I kill them all. Am I the asshole for playing it and winning and beating my kids, or is that a good lesson?
No, that's all. As a guy with 3 children, I'm gonna say right now, they gotta learn to lose earlier.
All right.
My opinion, losing to your parents is the best way to learn that lesson. So I'm all for it.
That's what I was hoping.
Yeah, okay. And you want to say or agree with, or you want to teach them early. I don't know what age limit you start pushing it harder, but 11 is plenty fast, I would say.
Oh yeah, they got to be used to you losing by 11 for sure.
Does it make a difference that it was the second game and I'd already won the first one?
You can't help it if you're good at Scrabble, right? They just got to get better.
I am the king. No, when we play as adults, I win. I'm filled with useless information. And if I know that I'm going to someone's house and that's going to be the adult game that we play while we're drinking, I'm I've memorized words like that you wouldn't words that end with Z or Z for you Americans. And they're how do you know all these words like ZD and Zeta? And I'm don't worry about how I know that word.
See, I'm a Jeopardy guy.
Me too.
Trivia, useless knowledge. That's what story.
So my younger brother Matt, he's on Auburn Hoops regularly. So his best friend from college, he watches Jeopardy every night with his dad, and his dad pauses for each question to think. We're oh, dude, come on, you can. I'm sure you would agree with me. And so no, those are that's against rules. You have to,
faster than the contestants, or don't bother. Yeah, it's fine.
Which you gotta beat the guys that are there. His thing is we're in the living room watching TV. Let's enjoy this. I'm no, we enjoy this by pretending we're in the game, and listening. So yeah,
I actually enjoy even if I'm getting the answers wrong.
Yeah, me too. 100%.
There's a category, quantum physics. I'm okay, I'm going over on this one, and I'll just blurt out an answer, and they're what? What the hell does a kumquat have to do with that? And I'm I just wanted to say the word.
You never know. You toss it out there, maybe it's right.
The best was I don't know if it was a podcast that I was listening to or somewhere else I saw a video. It's funny seeing all these geniuses get up there and as you said, quantum physics, 17th century African American history. There's they know all this stuff. Sports comes up and then none of them know everything, and then every barstool account comes up making fun of them. But they're oh, how do these guys not know this stuff? But they know every other answer.
Yeah.
They'll tell you the year Edgar Allan Poe was born, but they couldn't tell you what Larry Bird was good at. Yeah.
Dude, I've seen. They'll tell you when Edgar Allan Poe, the year he was. There you go. The year he wrote every single one of his poems and what they mean if you read them backwards. And then you're this player was born in Brooklyn, New York, played most of his career for the Chicago Bulls, and is known for going 6-0 in the finals. Who is LeBron James? No, bro.
That's spot on. That's exactly 100%.
I love. There's the two that I dominate. Anytime there's hip hop or sports / basketball, because sometimes sports know because they're she won the butterfly gold medal in 1939 before becoming a seamstress at Saks Fifth Avenue, and I'm no, that's not.
No way.
It's college basketball mascots. College mascots, for whatever reason, seems to be my forte on Jeopardy.
Oh,
college basketball. Nice. Really?
Yeah, like I played so many college games growing up and stuff. Like the mascots always stuck with me. So like it was one of those things that like every time that category, because it always comes up during college week, the mascots, and that's just what I nail.
I feel like I would suck at that.
It's,
Give me an example. Give me like 2 or 3. Give me 2 or 3.
stuff like the Georgia Tech Bulldogs, or stuff like just like the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, or just I don't know. I'm trying to think of some random Arkansas Razorbacks. Just
Nope.
Okay, those ones I would get. Okay.
Yeah, that's all. I'm just stuff like I'm trying to think of some more arbitrary East Coast Carolina Bulldogs, or there's there's so many Bulldogs. There's a lot of Bulldogs and Wildcats across, but it's I don't know. It's the college teams for whatever reason just stick.
I feel like I know all the pro sports teams. I don't know that I would know all the college ones.
Yeah,
definitely not,
because there's too many. Like you're gonna bring up like Eastern Kentucky.
That's it. Like people.
Okay, okay, actually go Eastern Kentucky.
Eastern Kentucky is actually isn't Eastern Kentucky the Wildcats?
I have no idea.
Aren't they Wildcats?
No, Kentucky's the Wildcats. Then there's no way Eastern Kentucky's also the Wildcats.
No, there's yeah, you're right. Goodness, no. Eastern Kentucky is a fail. See, as one that I'm not good at. It's the big ones. It's the big ones. If you ask me about,
it's the Colonel, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Eastern Kentucky Colonels.
There you go.
Did you just send me that top 10?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Let's do it. Let's do it. Since we since we have a question. Did you see Mars's sports top 10 power forwards of all time? What are yours in the panel's top 10? So here's Mars's top 10. He's got Tim Duncan at 1, Kevin Garnett at 2, Giannis at 3, Dirk at 4, Malone at 5, Barkley at 6, Anthony Davis at 7, Kevin McHale at 8, Bob Pettit at 9, Elvin Hayes at 10.
Interesting. Is there not to be like a guy that hates on the Celtics, because obviously I'm a Celtics fan, but does McHale really have an argument over Pettit?
Not in my book. No. Disrespect to.
I'm assuming that he's air taxing.
Okay. I was just gonna say, like, I definitely assume the air attacks, but like without the air attacks, I feel like there's no argument.
Like I definitely have Pettit there, and have him 2 spots higher actually. So yeah, I'll get mine in order. Just to compare to Mars, it's relative.
You have yours ready, because so I'm gonna let me think on mine, because I know that you have those like top 100s, right?
Yes. Hang on a second. I actually have it open right now, so I can actually zoom in if that's possible, or not. Okay, actually, you know what? I'll just read it off mine. So in order, I've Duncan on 1, just like Mars. At 2, I have Giannis, and then at 3, I have Garnett. So I do have the 2 flip flops. At 4, I have Dirk, same. 5, I have Malone, same. 6, Chuck, same. So like very similar. Where 7 through 10 is where it gets different. So 7, I have Bob Pettit. He really was, like he was like the best player. He was like it was like between Mike and Russell. He was like that player sandwiched in between. He was there. And then I actually have Dolph Shays in number 8. That might be a little high to some people, but 12 All NBA speak for themselves. Elvin Hayes 9 and Anthony Davis 10. So and then I have Kevin McHale at 11. So that's the one. I think that's the one difference that we have. He has McHale in there, and then I have Shays there instead.
And that's honestly for me. I like that, because McHale seems to be the biggest question mark in my opinion. And I'm not trying to be like a hater, but I guess his position does seem a bit high to me.
Yeah, so mine's going to be very different, because Giannis and Davis won't be in it because I don't rank active.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's fair.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's Duncan, but I still think I'd have Duncan Garnett. I'm probably putting. Is Moses? Would you consider Moses Malone a center or power forward?
He's a 5 in my list.
I keep him as a 5.
So
if you keep him as a 5, then I'd go Duncan Garnett, probably Dirk, Barkley Malone. I really with Malone. I'll go I'm really high on Barkley though.
Yeah, I'm a Barkley guy
myself. Me too. Yeah, I like Barkley.
Yeah, Barkley Malone, and then I've got Pettit, Hayes, DeBusschere, and McHale.
DeBusschere, okay.
I love Dave DeBusschere.
Dave DeBusschere is number 27 on my list.
Wow.
Ooh, controversy.
So like I have guys like Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, and Jeremiah Green ahead of Dave DeBusschere.
Okay.
Now, I don't want to be devil's advocate here, but I do have to ask because, the fans are going to be curious probably as well. When it comes to putting Tim Duncan a power forward versus a center, what to you makes the biggest difference?
He's a power forward. And he's a power forward because that's the position he played. I don't care what he was listed at. Because when he came into the NBA, he played alongside David Robinson, who was the center. And so he was a power forward for the first, 6-7 years of his career. And then when Robinson kind of went away, when he retired, people were like, oh, well, then they listed him as a center. But even when he was listed as a center, go look. He's playing next to Rasho Nesterovic, a center. Tiago Splitter, a center. The guy whose name I always forget because it's like a weird name. Bendy.
Juric.
No, it's not Bendejo. I was around too many Spanish people today. Nazir Muhammad. But there was another guy, Bendo something. You can look him up. So he's playing next to Alberto. Thank you, Woodage. Man, see, Woodage always comes through in the clutch. So there's all of so he always played next to a center. So that's why I don't care that what someone is listed at, because that's a load of crap. I can't see. I have Kemp as a small forward. So if Kemp's a power forward, then he's up on that list. And I got to tell you, I haven't done my list in a long time. I'm going by memory because I feel like there's guys like Sheed, Chris Webber. If Sean Kemp's a power forward, then I need to really reevaluate the list because they're all going to go above.
And
McHale.
Yeah, just to answer a lot of questions from the chat. Yeah, so I as I mentioned, I have McHale at 11. I have Chris Webber at 12. I have Jerry Lucas at 13. Admittedly,
I had Jerry Lucas as a center. Okay, maybe I got to put him at power.
Admittedly, that one might be a little too high though. 14 Pau Gasol. 15 Blake Griffin. 16 rest in peace Tommy Heinsohn. And then 17 Sean Kemp.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's solid to me.
Do you have a 10 or no? I went by memory. I could be wrong on one.
I don't personally know. I usually just it's the top 5 there is pretty standard with the Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Giannis. When it comes to I'm like you, I'm a Barkley over Malone guy at the end of the day. So I tend to lean Barkley in my top 5 instead of Karl Malone. But I mean, I could be compelled. I understand that Malone has longevity and stuff, so I'm not ignorant to that.
I'm pretty sure the Chill has Malone too. I know last week I'm pretty sure we weren't sure, but I'm pretty sure he made the video.
You can have Malone at 2.
You could honestly.
Malone has Malone. The problem with Malone is people can't. They struggle to separate the person from the player, and I get it. Right?
And the fact that he doesn't have any rings, that's another thing.
The fact that he doesn't have any rings, right? Yeah, that's true too. Because if you look at Malone, you're like, it's every LeBron fan should have Malone at probably number 2. because he's got more points, more rebounds, more blah blah blah. Than Michael Jordan.
He's the R. Kelly of the NBA.
Really, yeah.
He's the hit maker, but you
Yeah.
don't want to talk about it.
Dirk played, yeah. So I'm looking. I'm trying to think. So Duncan, Malone, Garnett, Nowitzki, Barkley, Pettit, Hayes. Where do you have Dennis Rodman?
Low. 25.
25. What about Amari?
Center, I think.
You have him at center? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I would have him though at 14. I'd probably sandwiched in between Powell and Blake Griffin.
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask. After Giannis, I noticed this, and Anthony Davis is not a lot of guys like in the current sphere that seem to be very close in this battle for power forward. Like, who's the next man up in your opinion, Chris?
I don't know.
Or like active guys.
Power forward's kind of a dead position. That's why
it's dead because technically the last 2 years, Jason Tatum has been the starting power forward of the team.
Yeah.
So and
Pascal Siakam, Tatum,
Kevin Durant. Like
these guys are power forwards now, which they're not.
Yeah.
So that position is really like, the fact that this is why I struggle when because positionless is false. Right? When people say, basketball's position, that's false. But when they say they try to put people into those 5 positions, that's also false because there isn't 5 positions anymore, right? Like when you say point guard, who's real point guard right now? Halliburton?
Trae Young? Not even.
It has
throwing a bunch of shots, not really.
Yeah, he's not a traditional power. Like he's not a traditional point guard because he jacks up more shots than anybody else on his team.
It's really just as far as it goes for stars, it's just Halliburton. I feel like.
Do you guys think that it's more of like the NBA 2K archetypes then, instead of like actual positions where it's like stretch 4?
Yes, 100%. There's a point guard. There's like a combo guard. There's a whatever. There's a shooting guard or scoring guard, right? Off guard.
Yeah.
Small. The small forwards. Small forwards probably the only one that maybe stays because small forward has always been someone who was a Swiss Army knife, right? The small forward position was always built like since 1950. A guy that can do everything. He can play inside. He can play outside. He can pass. He can shoot. He can dribble. Like a little bit of everything. And then power forward was like, no, that's my dude. That's like the bruiser. He's going to play down low and get rebounds. He's going to give my star center, because that's what you were focusing. He's going to give my star center a break, right? He's going to do the dirty work for him. He's going to defend. He's going to, do all that dirty work stuff. And, he's even going to go out on the perimeter when he has to, because my center is going to be waiting in the back to block shots, right? Like that's what the traditional 5. But now you got, a stretch 4, you got your 3-and-D guys. And, so there's so many different positions now that I think there's no more. It's no longer the 5. But again, that's why I say if you're going to try to say these are the only 5, then you got to put like a guy like Steph as shooting guard.
Yeah.
Right. You have to, because if it's traditional 5 positions, then you have to put them in those traditional roles, I feel. But back to this list. Tim Duncan, Garnett, I think Giannis will be there, so no problem there. Dirk at 4. Like I said, I would flip-flop Malone and Barkley, but also, like I said, I know that I'm higher on Barkley than most. Anthony Davis, probably slides in at 7. I would put Pettit over McHale and Elvin Hayes. So if he had, McHale at 10, or like I said, anybody else, slide in whoever you want at 10. It's a good list. It's a good list.
Now, not to be.
Let's be honest. If I may, let's be honest. This is a guy who has probably seen Giannis and Davis play in his lifetime.
Well, that's it. I was going to ask, because you guys know Mars a little bit better than I do, but based on like kind of his history and stuff, like, is there maybe a particular reason, other than recency bias, that you think that Kevin McHale's on here as high as he is?
Kevin McHale's interesting just because, and like Kevin McHale is actually one of my dad's favorite players of all time. So he might even have McHale higher on this list. But like, it's just like his like overall post move is like talent wise, which I know that Mars is like very much on evaluating like just the player rather than their entire career. So that's probably part of the reason why he has Garnett higher than Giannis. So just like the idea of Mikal, like the post moves, the all defensive teams. The issue is that we only saw like 2 or 3 years of that version of Mikal. He's only made one All NBA team in his entire career, and that was a first team All NBA, I believe, in 1986. So that's the issue there.
Yeah, and I guess that was kind of my point, is because I see Mikal as kind of like one of those guys that, like, talent for talent, sure, he might be on people's lists, but when it comes to the actual accolades and, greatness meter, I just don't see any argument for him being anywhere near the top 10, to be honest. So I guess it's just more of a curiosity.
You don't see Mikal, he should be at the top 10?
I don't see him being in the top 10. I love Kevin McHale. I'm a big Celtics guy, obviously. But I think compared to like Pettit and the Elvin Hayeses of the world, even some of the other guys, like I just feel like their longevity overall makes it tougher to put McHale in those conversations, especially as a number 2 guy. I don't know. I feel like McHale has a couple things kind of playing against him.
Yeah, I think the only thing he really had going against him is that he was on a team with Larry Bird and Robert Parrish and some others, and you didn't get to see I think Kevin McHale was a great basketball player.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he did a lot for those Celtics, and I think he's probably underrated because of who he played with in the era that he played with. So I'm clearly higher on McHale, which is funny, is the only non-Celtic guy on here right now.
It's just the longevity. That's literally the only thing that's
ironic. Yeah.
You're also just like, I'm surprised you didn't bring up the fact that you're only poo-pooing on Mikhail's career just because you want to make it sound like the Bird's career is more impressive because he's carrying a bunch of bumps.
Well, hey, how dare you like nip the ending in the bud here?
We'll get to that in a minute. Let's see.
That's supposed to be my M. Night Shyamalan twist.
Elgin Baylor, first modern small forward. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Would you consider Magic a point forward and not a point guard? Not
in today's NBA. He's what he was asking me. Yeah, because that's what he was talking about. That's when he comes to, I should say.
All right. But Magic being a 6'8", 6'9", actually, point guard isn't also traditional. No, he broke the mold. But if you look at Magic's career, so in his rookie season, he actually wasn't the point guard. A lot of people don't realize that he was the shooting guard, and he played alongside Norm Nixon. And whoever got the ball brought the ball up because of the fast-paced offense that they were playing. But if you actually watch his rookie year, it was actually Norm Nixon who was bringing up the ball more often. So he's actually playing quasi shooting guard. In fact, that was the reason Jerry West didn't want to coach them, because they were like, he's like, you're going to be a power forward at your size. You're going to be a power forward. You're going to get rebounds and help Kareem down low. And he was like, no. And Dr. Buss was like, no. And then he eventually took over the full-time point guard position. But how much more of a point guard can you be? He got the ball, whether he rebounded himself or it was outletted to him, and he led the break and facilitated the offense. I don't know how much more of a point guard you could be regardless. I hate when people, I'm not saying you're saying this, Raptor Insider, but I hate when people try to say, like, someone actually tried to tell me when I said Steph Curry, in my opinion, is a shooting guard. No, the shortest guy in the court's the point guard. I'm like, what? That's not how it works.
Yeah.
One more from Raptor Insider. It looks like it's do you think the 2004 Lakers are a super team, even though Malone and Peyton were old? I don't believe in super teams. I think that is a made-up term by people who want to make an excuse why their favorite player lost, or make an excuse why their most hated player won. So I don't think there's no such thing as a super team, because I've seen very talented teams not play well and lose, and I've seen bad teams play great, play super, and win. So yeah, so I'm the wrong one to ask. But what about you guys? What are your thoughts?
I don't, that team, no, it's kind of similar to how what was it, 2010? I think the 2010. I know the Crunch, also player shorts guy, said that one of the reasons that he has Kobe higher is because that he beat a super team in the 2010 Celtics. The 2010 Celtics are the furthest thing from a super team because all their guys are old. So just like Malone and Payne, and just like Shaq and Kobe were clearly tired of each other. No, that's not at all super team.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think the term's overused, and yeah, I have to agree with you, Fluent, in the sense that it seems to be one of those things that almost becomes like a scapegoat as to why somebody else wasn't able to, perform up to snuff. Like, oh, they faced a super team. So yeah,
They
I,
weren't,
I, I don't like the term.
when Wilt joined West and Baylor, we weren't super team, right? Moses Malone, the reigning MVP, leaves Houston, joins the Sixers, who already have Dr. J, Cheeks, etc., and who had just lost in the NBA final. That's not a super team. Like, it's really just a modern term, and now people are going back and trying to add it to these other teams.
Yeah.
And so hold on here. So Wade, LeBron, and Bosch isn't a super team, 3 players in their prime teaming up. If that's what you define as a super team, yes, I'm saying, did they do anything illegal? Did they do anything sneaky? No. So it's just a team, because you know what? Their first season they didn't play very super, did they?
No.
All right. Next, listen. This is actually a little bit more fun. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do this as we watch the game. You think the Lakers? Oops, my bad. Do you think Hakeem has a number 2 all-time case for being one of the best two-way players ever and facing the toughest competition and having not the best supporting cast?
Number 2 all time center,
I think
all time?
I think two-way player.
Because like as an all time
as an all time
two-way. No, I think he's adding in two-way player as an argument for why he's number 2 all time.
Yeah, that's how I read that as number 2 all time, because he's a two-way player.
Oh no, he doesn't have a case to be the second greatest player of all time, if that's what you're asking.
Because that's how I took it, and yeah, I don't see any case like Hakeem top 10. I can be down with 8 through 12. That spot 100%. I'm down with. Hakeem's a super talented guy. Has some of the hardest roads to the NBA Finals. 100%. I mean, but he also has like the stuff before that. The 7 first-round exits, the trials and tribulations in the beginning. I personally don't put him above Shaquille O'Neal, but I do understand why people do. So I don't want to be.
He's a better two-way player than Shaq, but he's not
right.
More dominant.
And that's it. Like there's always been like kind of that like he's more skilled than Shaq, but Shaq's better all time. And I typically don't like to get into those type of arguments, but I do get it when it comes to the Shaq Hakeem debate. So I do tend to lean Shaquille O'Neal myself.
And it's funny because people will say, oh, but when they played head to head, like Hakeem got the better of him. And I'm like, Bryant Big Country Reeves got the better of Shaq. That doesn't make him a better player, right? Moses Malone got the better of Moses Malone got the better of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But he's not a better all-time player than, like, you know what I mean? Just because they did that, it's impressive. It's important, but it doesn't automatically make you a better player just because you got.
I mean, Dave Cowens in the 74 finals against Kareem, like, gave him the business. And, like, no one would ever put those two.
Kareem before Magic is very much like Hakeem, where, like, if you think about it, he started off with Ralph Sampson, right? Very early in their career, he goes to an NBA final. Sampson then, obviously, which it was, the version of Wemby that we ever saw. People need to go back and watch some Sampson because he was going, 7 foot forward, going coast to coast.
Ball handles, man.
Yeah. But that being said, then he gets injured, or he's dealing with injuries, and it's like you don't hear anything about the Rockets. Nothing. Like, I remember people say, "Oh, it's lucky that the Bulls, it's lucky that Jordan went to play baseball, because if they met Olajuwon in '94 and '95." He wouldn't be 6-0, and I'm like, yeah, he'd probably be 8-0.
Yeah,
but he went 1-5 in the regular season. Regular season doesn't mean anything, guys. Nothing about what happens in the playoffs, right? Like the 72-10 Bulls lost to the expansion Raptors. Does that mean they suck because they lost them in the regular season? No. And then I asked them, I go, well, why didn't the Rockets make it in 91, 92, 93? Oh, because they didn't even make the playoffs. And then the 1 year that they did, or the 2 years that they lost to the team that the Bulls beat in the finals. What about the 2 years after the back-to-back Rockets win? Oh, they lost to who? Seattle. Who did Seattle lose to again? Oh, the Bulls. Oh, then they lost to the Jazz. Who did the Jazz lose to again? Oh, the Bulls. Like, to try to make that argument, and I get it, matchups, there's whatever, but to suggest that, like, like he didn't play, 18 other seasons.
And that's exactly my gripe with the Hakeem Olajuwon arguments is there just tends to be a ignoring of like most of his career.
Everyone already ignores the negative.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
you just ignore like this huge portion, and you see 94 and 95, and you put them as a vacuum, and obviously it looks excellent.
Play it.
Cool.
So we're watching Game 6 of the 1981 NBA Final.
It's doubtful he'd even be ready to
Let's
play on.
turn down the volume a bit. So the goal is this. The goal is this. We'll keep talking and answering questions in the comments, but as we do that, we're watching this game and we're trying to figure out, would Larry Bird translate into today's game? I know it's a little grainy. I know it's a little old. It wasn't 4K. It was probably not even 1K. It was like 0.35K. Bird is the white dude with the blonde hair. It's number 33 for those that.
Which
Might be
mullets are making a comeback. Bird's hairstyle would probably suffice today too.
I actually saw a number of people today with mullets and just a mustache. You know the mustache you were trying to rock, the pedo stash? It's very popular.
Larry Bird would be like trendsetter nowadays. He looks like Morgan Wallen.
So while we're watching, what does Jokic need to do to become top 10? I'm assuming they mean top 10 player all time.
So I got him currently at 15, I think. And given the fact that he has 3 MVPs in additional 2 MVP caliber seasons, debatably his 2 best seasons of all time. The issue is that he hasn't played in enough playoffs yet. I think he's only played in 9 compared to other all-time greats. And only, I guess, so he has the championship run in 2023, and then he has the conference finals run in 2020. Outside of that, nothing really crazy impressive, but not all of that is his fault. So, but like basically, like the question just become important to me. What does he have to do to get that step third? So I would say another championship.
We're losing you. Is it my headphones or is it his mic?
I don't have my mic. I've been using the inside, but you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay, yeah. So in short, another championship ring with a little more longevity is what I would say. Is when we'll start having discussions.
That's it. As Dave Chappelle would say, keep doing what you're doing, white boy. Like he just keeps doing what he's doing, and I think that he's going to be in those conversations inevitably. There's going to be no holding him back. I mean, he gets another MVP or two. Yeah, just puts himself in a couple finals conversations. Even I don't think he necessarily even has to win another one. I think if he just participates in a few, he'll be in those conversations just because of how transcendent as an offensive player he is. So I don't think it's going to be much.
How long is Jokic? What season is this now for Jokic?
He was drafted in 2013, was it, or 14? I want to say 13. Yes. So this is season 10 or 11, probably.
Yeah.
No, probably season 12. Wait, hang on.
And he's about what, 30, 31?
It's season 12, but the first 2 seasons, he
just turned 30. So so his first season was in 2015-16 because he also played it overseas earlier. So yeah, so he just finished his 10th season.
Just finished his 10th season. Okay.
So 10 seasons and 5.
So 10 seasons. So he's had kind of 8 seasons of being great.
Yeah.
Right. And he's been the best player probably in the world for maybe the last 3-4 years. He's been in that conversation for the last 5 years. So I just think he needs to. I don't think he needs to win anything else, although it would help. But I rings are the last thing I count on my list of 187 things. So I would say he just needs to do it longer. Right when you consider, who he's been playing with, the conferences he's been playing with, the success that he's had, how the team plays when he's not on the court, like all of those things. Like he's probably the best. I don't know how to say probably, but I just say that to be safe. The best offensive big we've ever seen. So I don't think, other than him, he's only done it for really 7-8 years, maybe 7. I got to check what year 3 was like. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know year 1 and 2 he wasn't really that guy. I'd like to see you be. Can you be great for 10 plus years?
It was really close to the first. It was really close to the first 3 years. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
third year he did average 19 and 10, so that's pretty damn great. But but he didn't make the All-Star season yet. But then 2019 came around. That's when it was a big leap because that's when he started making All NBA teams, like the first team All NBA.
Yeah.
Came in 4th place in MVP voting 2019. So yeah,
I don't care about All Stars. So I would say if that's 19 and 10, so okay. So I'd give him so starting in year 3.
Yeah.
So that's 8 years.
Yep.
Give me 10 plus years. Give me 10 plus years because the title thing is. I don't think he's ever played with an All. Has he ever had even one All-Star teammate?
He has not. But in fairness, though, even though he's never played with an All-Star, I also
played one. They won the title.
Yeah, but Jamal Murray was playing at an all NBA caliber level, like in the playoffs as he usually does. Not usually does. He hasn't been great the past.
Oh yeah, he's a playoff riser.
Yeah,
for sure.
Which next year will be interesting for sure. Just because I think next year is easily the best supporting cast he's had, outside of second best player. Just they built around him perfectly. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they match up with the Thunder again.
Is this crazy that this game was on tape delay?
Yeah, I just saw that.
So let's while we watch this because there was nothing else kind of came through the wire here. I feel like he still, even though he shot poorly, like what he shoot, 41% in this series, he was still the best player on this team.
I
went
say
15,
over and over
15,
again,
15 and 7.
He's averaging 15.3 rebounds, and literally Moses Malone on the other side is averaging 15.3 rebounds. And I don't know how ridiculous. I know it takes some context to understand, but Larry Bird getting the same amount of rebounds as Moses Malone in the playoff series, to me, is impressive, very impressive, especially given the context that it's a finals series and it's only, his second year in the league, third year in the league, 81. What's that? Second year in the league. So it just I feel like because he wasn't scoring, because he's only averaging 15 points per game, people hold it against him. But a 15, and 7. Is not a bad finals series for a second-year player.
Well, it's not, and it's also not like there was someone else. This was his first NBA final. Who on the team? He was second in scoring, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think. Who was first? McHale at 17, 18?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So McHale had nowhere near the amount of rebounds, right? So he was second in scoring by 2 points, and led the team by far in rebounds, in assists. And you can see he had a bad shooting series. I get it. You want to kill someone for that because we look at the negative, and I do. But when someone has bad shooting games, I look at what did they do then? Did they put their head down and pout and not play, or did they do other things? Well, yeah, he did other things. He led his team by far in rebounds, like you said, and in assists. So that's his job. That's what he's supposed to do. And it's not like he was the third leading scorer on his team, he was their fourth or fifth, whatever. You're still second.
Just to fact check ourselves, Cedric Maxwell actually did lead the series in scoring. It wasn't McHale.
Oh, Cedric Maxwell. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he averaged 18 points per game, right?
Yeah, 18, and then Bird followed by Parrish. Yes. McHale averaged 4.7 points per game that series.
Yeah. So it's because Cedric Maxwell got the Finals MVP, correct? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But how many points per game did he score?
17.7. Maxwell.
Right. Okay. So I still. Yeah. I had who outscored him. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
But he was second to Cedric Maxwell. Not okay. I said he was second to McHale. He was second to Maxwell.
You know which fan base should love Cedric Maxwell? Steph Curry. If Cedric Maxwell never won Finals MVP would be seen as the token best player on the team without a doubt. And Steph Curry's rings, all of a sudden, the first 3 rings wouldn't look as great as they do today.
Ooh, that is a nice take. I like that. That actually makes some sense.
No, hold on.
Cedric Maxwell led the way for Andre Iguodala. I get what you're saying.
Yes.
Is that what okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Because I'm saying if it was Larry Bird who won it, most finals, like I would say, outside of maybe Joe Dumars and maybe James Worthy, outside of those finals, like seeing a finals MVP is like seen as like being the best player in that team.
Yeah, for sure.
Could you imagine a player today being second in scoring on his team by 1 bucket, by 2 points, and leading them in rebounds, assists, and steals, like by far, like it's not even close, and not winning Finals MVP?
Can you imagine a player leading his team in points,
Don't you
rebounds,
bring it
There
to
it
us.
is. Come on.
rebounding, and
Do it.
assists and steals? Yes, I can imagine that actually.
I can't imagine that. That just happened, right? Oh my God.
Sure did.
Jason Tatum was robbed.
Like, I'm sorry. I look, it's been a while since I've watched. That's why we're watching. It's been a while since I watched any of this series. But there's no way you can watch this series and think Cedric Maxwell was more valuable or better, whichever thing you want to use, was more valuable or better than Larry Bird, even in just this series.
Yeah.
Can you make a case for him?
The fact that he scored more points. That's the only case. Yeah.
Dude had to shoot 47%. No, sorry, 57%, which is, listen, I get it. Bird shot horribly, which is 16% better. He had to shoot 16% better, score 2 more points.
Yeah.
You put it like that. It's awfully not that impressive as it seemed at the time.
And it's not like he was. It's not like, look. Okay, I think he was. What did he get? 8 or 9 rebounds a game, and 3 assists. I know you have the numbers in front of you, so I'm asking. You have 3 assists a game.
Cedric Maxwell averaged 2.8 assists. Yeah, 3 assists.
Okay, 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so call it 3. And from my recollection, is Cedric Maxwell some like elite defender?
No.
So what is it exactly that made him more valuable other than 2 points? That he was more efficient? People didn't care about efficiency back then. Honestly,
that 2 points could have held a lot of weight back then, though, because of obviously given the ignorance. You know, you look at like I'm scoring 17, you're scoring 15. Maybe that's more important.
I feel like they valued rebounds more.
They should have.
Is the deal breaker? Cedric Maxwell did average a half a block more than Larry Bird too. So maybe.
Well, there you go. You had half a block then. Okay.
Like, look at this. Moses Malone, 14 rebounds, 15 rebounds.
And when
Larry Bird was putting up Moses Malone rebounding numbers against Moses Malone.
And when you say half a block, like what? Maxwell had 1 and Bird had half?
Maxwell, yes, exactly what it is.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, it totally makes sense. Like, this stuff like that, like Iguodala getting the MVP over Steph Curry because he held LeBron to 1 million points a game is like, it's a travesty. It's so disrespectful to the game of basketball.
Because the thing is that like Iguodala was the X factor in that series. Like, it was extremely impressive. I almost feel like if Iguodala didn't win that award, we'd hear about him more. Like we hear about like Iguodala was awesome that series, and he really that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like if he didn't win a Finals MVP, it'd be better for him. No, it wouldn't be better for him, but we'd hear about it in a better light, I should say.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's one of those things that like it really is taken away from Steph Curry, and it seemed kind of arbitrary. Like I know you've laughed about it a couple times by saying like he stopped LeBron James and that's the reason he got it. But the reason we all kind of laughed at that is literally because like his stopping of LeBron James was 35 points per game, and I understand the efficiency wasn't there. I understand he was doing things, and I'm not gonna like play dumb and say that he wasn't effective. But to give him the Finals MVP at the end of the day, just seems egregious.
The Finals MVP should really be like skewed a little bit to the person that was like the most important and the best player on your team, because it means a lot, and it's like, okay, was he the X factor? Sure, okay, he's the X factor. Are they even in a position at all without Steph Curry? And the answer is no. So he's clearly the most valuable.
Mm-hmm. So how do you quantify that and try to like make it a microcosm just because of the finals? Like, do you really have to just make it those 6-7 games and
Yes.
that's all that matters?
Yes.
I get it, but
Yes.
I feel like your franchise player at the end of the day is the most valuable player.
Easily.
9 times out of 99, not even 9 times out of 99% of the time, unless they are just horrible, or unless someone else just plays like out of their mind, it should be the best player, your franchise player, that wins the Finals MVP when you win the Finals.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I can't even think of an exception where the second guy played that much better than the first guy. The only time this ever happened, and you can argue who's the first and second guy, the only time is, and the team lost, so that's why it didn't happen. In 2011, the Heat are up 2-1, and Dwayne Wade is outplaying LeBron James in every way. And if they, it's funny, there was a guy who writes articles for SportsCenter, this guy Trent Cohen. I don't even know him. He just sends me stuff. Says wrote this article, and he's like, 2011 was the biggest
Favor, like, yeah, we've had the discussion
favor
before.
to LeBron James.
Yeah.
I forget how he worded it, but he
Yeah.
did it a lot better than I'm doing.
Mhm.
To LeBron James's legacy than anything, because if they're up 2-1, if they find a way to win that series, Wade's the Finals MVP. No one's arguing with me. Wade is the Finals MVP, and wow, what does that do for LeBron's legacy? He goes to the Finals, gets swept, has to leave. Right, everyone already beats him up for having to go to Miami. Can you imagine he goes to Miami, they win, and Wade's the MVP? He never, in his article, he's like, I wonder if LeBron James actually purposely lost after, once he realized, if we win this, this is going to hurt my legacy more than it helps. Interesting.
Yeah, that's super true. That's fascinating, because you really think about where Dwayne Wade's trajectory would have been theoretically as well.
Right.
100%.
I remember this was literally our first or second episode we talked about this Fluence, and I scoffed it at the time. And though I'm still 50-50 on the topic, simply just because I feel like 2011 is the biggest black mark on any player's all-time greats legacy. Every all-time great has a low moments. Obviously tragic Johnson, MJ.
Hey, you don't need to bring that up.
Look at that guy. Did you see the guy shooting the free throws? Yeah. That guy looked like Ozzy Osbourne.
It was, actually.
Rest in peace.
Swiss Army knife. Yeah, but the thing is, it's just so it's so my whole thing is that eliminated LeBron from the GOAT discussion, is that he played so bad and lost his team the series. That being said, we could just look at that back at it as his team lost and that was bad. He played bad. Is that really worse than he was playing so horribly, but the guy who's supposed to be his sidekick saved his ass? I don't know which one's worse, honestly.
No, that's worse. If they win, if LeBron does everything exactly the same, and let's say, I don't know, Chris Bosh and Wade. No, let's just say their defense is a little bit better, and they win a couple of those 50-50 balls. And
Dirk also craps the bed.
They win that series, and Wade is the Finals MVP, which he would have been. That is by far worse for his career, because just look at what they do to Kobe.
Yeah,
that's true.
So there's no way, no Kobe fan would ever they already don't, but they would never let a LeBron fan get away with the fact that, dude,
no.
Listen, Kobe went in as a high schooler, and you're expecting him to be better than prime Shaq when he was 20 years old? Not happening, right? Not happening. So, but LeBron goes in his prime and has to leave his team and join Wade and bring Bosh, and just to get Wade to carry him for his first final? No. They'd never live that down. Curry is not better than Kobe. Let me see. There's I do want to address this. Fluent, give it up. Not happening.
Who's that?
It's clearly a nobody.
Okay.
Okay. What about LeBron working out at the Buffalo Braves facility? So FYI, I still call the Los Angeles Clippers the Buffalo Braves. They will never, if you're wondering, because LA only has one team. It's the Lakers. And so the Braves should probably go back to Buffalo. That being said, he was not working out at the Clippers facility. One horrible PR team. I don't know. They bought the facility. They never, now it used to be a Clippers facility, but they had bought the facility and they just never took down, because they just bought it recently, took down the stuff in the background. So it still said the Clipper stuff. It took me about 3 seconds on my phone to remove the background that showed Clippers. And they could have just, moved on. But instead, they left the Clippers logos in the background. They posted it on social media. Because why? Because
LeBron James
is an attention whore.
Heyo.
Did you see there's this clip where the guy says, LeBron James saw Luka Doncic working out, or no, his spread in Men's Health. So he decided he's going to do one too. And they show him working out, and he posted, the videos and stuff. I'm like, why? Why would your teammate working out and being in Men's Health, who, because the last GM said he was lazy and fat, and he's trying to show them that he's not, working out, make you have to do it? Why can't you just let that dude have the spotlight for 5 seconds? That's the stuff that LeBron and his team, because maybe it wasn't him, LeBron and his team, that's the stuff that drives people crazy.
So I just got back from my vacation, and on that vacation, I was with my 5, almost 6-year-old godson, and he's hands down the youngest one. There's no one within 10 years of him. He's like the baby of the family. Whenever he wants attention, he yells out, "Attention, everyone!" and then he says what he needs to say.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like LeBron does every time. He just yells out, which I'm sure that's what he did growing up as a kid too. Nothing.
That's 100%.
It's funny because we try so hard to kind of create this and establish this kind of legacy of LeBron as this untaintable figure. But yeah,
can you rewind that? Sorry, can you rewind that back 5 seconds?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. We gonna go move?
No, it's just something, because we're supposed to be watching this, and we are, but about if Bird was in today's NBA. So pause it right there, right before he throws that horrible pass for a turnover, right there. If this is today's NBA, okay, Bird is taking 2 steps back, right? He's spotting up in the corner. Who was it that threw that horrendous pass?
That wasn't Johnson. Was that Danny Ainge? No. I can't even see the number.
He's kicking it to Bird in the corner for a knockdown corner 3.
Yes.
Right? That's the stuff where I say that's the stuff where, when we say would he translate? Yeah, because his play style would, that little nuance of, he would just be 2 steps back, right, which would give him that spacing. They'd kick it out to him, and again, it'd be a better player than whoever threw that horrible pass. Was it Chris Ford? Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it was. I'm going through the lineup. But yeah, it obviously wasn't Tiny or Parrish. So it was probably Chris Ford.
48. Is that Chris Ford? It looks like 42.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Chris.
Yeah. See, I told you, Woodage knows his stuff, man.
It's so interesting to watch these old games and see how kind of centric they are, compared to today's game with the spacing the way that it is. It's fascinating to me to see how focused they are on really trying to get it to the post every single possession, basically.
What's interesting is that if you looked even that last possession, just take everybody where they were standing on Houston. Yeah, go back to where you're there. Stop. The 3 guys along the top are just 2 steps back.
Yeah.
The person on the weak side is out at the corner, and that is today's NBA.
Yeah.
right? Because they can shoot from out there. So they have those two stuff. And if they were to play this type of offense where they
one of these guys is getting kicked off the floor if they're like crowding the paint right there.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. You can't see. Well, I don't have the cursor, but that weak side offensive player is out in that corner, right? And this I'm pointing like you guys can see. The guy with the ball is actually dribbling down to the baseline and kicking it in there. And then there's back cuts and they're kicking it back out for a wide open three. Like and look, they do it faster to their credit. But when people say it's so different, it's not. They're running the same play. It's just they've spread it out
more. Yeah.
Because not just because they can shoot, it's because they've been taught to shoot and they're allowed to shoot, right? Like if I don't know who number 32 is on the Rockets right now, but or this guy right here walking
in. Look at that guy. That guy's haircut is my favorite.
That's classic. If he, like in today's NBA, he has the ball there, he's shooting it. These guys are posting up behind the 3-point line because their job is to get inside to make a bad shot. But that's their job, whereas the guys now just spotting up and shooting it. But if that guy pulled up and shot that three, like they're getting benched. Even if it went in, they're getting benched.
Cornbread with the move. Look at that, Cedric Maxwell.
We're running a little late, so yes. So you think maybe I can like fast forward to like whatever time you think? Yeah. Let me just stop sharing real quick, and then I can see where we can get to.
You can fast forward while we watch.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's see.
You little just drag it and zzz.
Yeah. So let's
go to like there you go. Perfect. Go Rockets.
Oh, flip it. Okay. Yeah, that must be the start.
I'd like to. How much money do you want to bet me, guys? I think 1,000 each. So my 2,000 against each one of your 1,000s. That the Celtics win this series. No.
It's a push. I'm never gonna bet against my own team, Fluent. You know that.
Yeah. Did you get that like Biff book there that he uses?
Man, I wish I had
Sports Almanac.
Sports Almanac. I wish I had that.
It's in the shorts, man. I can't get over the shorts. I know nobody cares, but like it's so funny just to see the shorts. I love it, and they're coming back.
They are.
Well, listen, it can't be any worse than like
Jaylen Brown.
The shorts got too big and baggy and long. Do you remember that picture of? I think it's TJ Ford.
TJ Ford, yes. Oh my God.
Oh, that's horrible. I gotta pull it up.
Yes, it looks like he's wearing like 5 sizes too big.
I was gonna download it and show you guys, but I'm just gonna do it this way.
Love it.
Oh God.
Like
yeah, you pull some pretty slick crossover dribbles with that shorts like that. I'm sure.
Oh.
I understand that people have.
I think they're talking about this.
Oh, I forgot you have it. This guy has it. The LeBarbie.
It was a gift from Clutch Sports.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
That like the LeBron versus Larry Bird argument.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the LeBron versus Larry Bird argument. I understand that LeBron sufficiently has the greater case, but to those that say Bird is above LeBron, what would you say to those people?
I love you.
No, I would say you don't rank active players, because that's kind of the only thing that makes sense, and two is just you just don't like him, but it's not like I always say this. I don't think anyone dislikes. I don't dislike LeBron. I'll speak for myself. I won't speak for anybody else. I don't dislike LeBron, but he's very easy to dislike, and his fan base is super easy to dislike because they're so stupid.
And just like and I know people talk about how the media hates LeBron, but like just like the media members that love LeBron, from Shannon Sharp, he's in the news. Shannon Sharp to Nick Wright, to I feel like there's someone else I'm missing. Like even like Dante Jones. He's not really in the NBA anymore, but like in the NBA news anymore. But just like whoever is on it, like it's like LeBron can never do any wrong to those guys, and it's just like if you're gonna be like a national,
the small creators, like there's guys who create stuff.
Of course.
And I go, okay. I said, I go, but you're just a LeBron fan. You're not a basketball fan.
Yeah.
And I don't like that because I'm a fan of the NBA first. Like Jordan is not my favorite player. He's not even in my top 10 of favorite players. But I acknowledge that he's the greatest player I've ever seen. LeBron is not in my top 10 of favorite players. I don't even rank active players, but I make an exception and say he's the second greatest player I've ever seen. But so when I get into these conversations with these guys and I say, well, I look at the positives, but I also look at the negatives. And the response, 10 out of 10, I don't look at the negatives. I don't look. And I said, well, that's the only way to distinguish greatness, because you can make a case for, 3-4 guys at being the best. What's going to be the thing that creates a gap is, unless you're like being completely objective, is the negatives. Like who, like LeBron, for example. LeBron has more negatives, which is why I have him 2, not 1. But from all of those negatives, a lot of them turn into positives because the way that he recovered from those negatives is a plus. So part of the reason why I have him high, because if all I looked at was the negatives, he wouldn't be in the top 10.
Exactly.
Makes sense?
Exactly. Yep. It makes a lot of sense. I think that's the way you have to look at it, because you figure this top 10, when we rank them at the end of the day, like they're literally just a hair away from each other. It's just it's splitting hairs between these guys. You have to maximize, or kind of really look at their flaws that stand out compared to their peers, because they're just so close.
Well, and blame the fans. They want they just think about it. Everyone's always asking, well, what's your top 10? What's your top 10? What's your top? Who's better to that's always the conversation. So you have to,
which like it's what I think is funny. Yep, it sure is. Like my favorite thing is the people who are like so anti-lists. Like Mars is one of them. Like he tweeted this out because I feel like that was a common discussion. But like there are people who say like oh, what's the need to rank players? Because it's fun. That's why. Like you're diving into players' careers. Like it's just because I have one player higher doesn't mean I hate the player lower than him. So yeah, I just hate how that's become a talking point of like oh, anyone who makes the list like doesn't actually like the game. But no, that's not true at all.
No, the lists are made because that's entertainment. That's what people want.
It's fun. Yeah, it's like and I have fun discussing my list. Obviously, obviously I wouldn't have my list if it wasn't my big list.
We've been doing it since the beginning of time.
Yes.
There it is, birds. Boom.
I remember like what we used to watch, like NBA Jam and with Ahmad Rashad, and what was the first thing that kicked off the show? Their top 10 plays of the week. Like that's what we did. Like we're
Sports Center. Yeah, top 10 plays of the day. Yeah.
We're society addicted to our top 10s.
Which is why I'm surprised when I was doing that top 10 show on Player's Choice, we didn't get more views. It's a good show.
Well, it's funny.
You guys had a quality idea for sure.
Well, it's funny actually because I had Tyler, Britton. He's the guy who venue. I'm sure you've seen on Twitter or somewhere else. I had him on because like last year because he had his top 25 players active. I'm like, okay, perfect. He's a perfect guest to have on. And then he said, yeah, I'm happy you had me on because he's like when I make my top 25 videos, like, yeah, like those usually don't do great. So yeah, it's good to have to talk on a podcast with him. I'm like, oh, that's funny. I feel like if anything, that'd be a perfect list to talk to. But I guess just depending on the algorithm.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Larry Bird, like Cedric Maxwell got this Finals MVP, but Larry Bird has hit the last 2 clutch shots for the Celtics. Like, come on, man, this guy.
This highway robber.
By the way, according to Bill Simmons, author of the Book of Basketball, he always talks about how bad Bill Russell was on TV.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's funny. Him and wasn't Magic Johnson. He always said Magic Johnson wasn't great on TV either.
Which was funny because like I read that book a couple of years ago. I don't know if you guys read it, but but he said like he is like like these guys were like the two worst on TV, and that's it, and like that's if Shaq ever gets on TV.
Yeah.
Shaq's on TV.
Yeah, like no, but yeah, he wrote the book in like 2003 or whatever, like or later 2009, I think. So like yeah, it was when Shaq was still in the league.
Oh, I guess he's not loving TNT then. I guess.
No, I guess you don't listen to Simmons as much, yeah, which I don't expect you to. You consume NBA media enough.
Yeah,
but,
I do not.
Yeah, but and also he's a Celtics, I wouldn't expect you to. But yeah, but like he has like a running joke of like not so much TNT, but like he does it more at ESPN to where like yeah, they'll have like a 2-minute segment at halftime saying like, oh, LeBron's got to step up, and like that, oh yeah, and that's it break time, and I was saying like each person has to step up, and that's it.
Oh, God.
I haven't listened to much Bill Simmons, but I feel like I don't like him.
It's because you're not from Boston, man. The Beantown guys, we like him.
Oh, is that why? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he's also an acquired taste, I would say.
Yeah, he's acquired taste and a
no. I just feel like everything I got sent from him is just factually incorrect or stupid.
Ooh. There's Larry Bird with another clutch shot, by the way.
I'm pretty sure that was reversed, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it not? I don't know. Yeah. If they were inbounding it from the side, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, like it was like they called the whistle before, probably on offensive foul or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you have the game where he didn't score 48 points with his left hand?
I couldn't find it.
Yes.
Well,
yeah, sure.
I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere because I was looking for like the other games you recommended on League Pass, which couldn't find, and then the YouTube ones I couldn't find. But like, yeah, it's easy to find like 1980, like a finals game on YouTube.
Yeah, it's tough because a lot of times, like I'll get a game, and it's like the people who own it, like they'll let us watch it. Like I did it when like I said, when that article came out last year, a year and a half ago, whenever I was able to get 4 of the games that I was allowed. Like people said,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can watch it and track, but they wouldn't give me like I couldn't even clip it. It just people are so like I'm like, dude, just put it out. Like you have
Rich Paul made the call. That's why.
Yeah, maybe.
No, that's another thing. Yeah, it's just like which like Nick Wright's a smart guy. That's the thing. But just like anytime I hear him listen to talking about LeBron or like Mahomes or like even like the players he doesn't like, I'm like, dude, just shut up. Like
he's a smart guy, but he's like super intellectually dishonest in my opinion.
That's what it is. I was looking for. Yeah,
it takes away from his like legitimacy because he does know what he's talking about. Because he allows the fandom to supersede the right smart thing. Like just recently, just yesterday, he posted like, "Oh, this whole NBA media because all they do is the 2 biggest myths in the NBA is to uplift Jordan and take down LeBron. That's all I hear every day." What are you talking about? Like, there's literally shows on shows and podcasts in your show that all you do is the exact opposite.
And I have to listen to LeBron James tell me why he's the GOAT.
It's Daryl Morey.
I don't remember Michael Jordan ever being on a podcast telling me why he was the GOAT.
You didn't have to. And I think it was because Daryl Morey said the Lakers ring in the bubble didn't count. So now they're all getting all crazy defensive.
And just like the whole, it flew over my head, but like something else that he does. Like the example that I thought of the most was back when LeBron was about to break Kareem's record, and he said yeah, it's funny, LeBron's about to break Kareem's record, but I feel like I'm not hearing it from the national media. I'm like, you're not hearing it from the national media. That's all they've been talking about for the past 3 weeks. They've been debating. Yeah, I'm like, are you out of your mind? Like, you're on TV all the time, so like I don't expect you to watch it enough, but scroll on Twitter for 5 minutes. You know they're talking about
it. He did this thing. It was a long time ago because his head was shaved, and someone had said it to me and was like, "Hey, I know this is old, but are these things that he's saying true?" And he gave a bunch of things, and he goes, when the Pistons lost, they were old to the Bulls. They were old, and they only won like 46 games, and they did it. And I'm like, no, they didn't. They won like 50 games.
Yeah,
they had. No one was older than 30 other than like Vinnie Johnson, who was coming off the bench anyways. They beat these guys. They were, it just, and he said all this. He gave a list of 5 things. I'm like, only like 4 of them were just blatantly false. Like just blatantly false. And one was okay, subjective, you can decide, but there was 4 things that were just, their record was wrong, how many, how old the players were, like he gave age, that was wrong. Like he made 5 points and 4 of them were just factually incorrect. I'm like, dude, you can understand. How are you like, it's like, I get it. Opinions can be wrong. Your guess can be wrong, but like when you're trying to say facts, it's like that Callan Cowherd thing about the homegrown talent. Have you ever seen that thing?
Yes.
Homegrown talent, players to win championships with an S from the team that drafted them, and then there's like 3 players on there that weren't even drafted by that team, by their team, and then there was 4 guys that had only won 1, so there weren't championships.
He's won well. Like so I feel like Nick Brett, the intellectual is honest. Colin Cowherd, I know more about basketball. I know more about basketball than Colin Cowherd, and I don't think it's even close. Like I don't think he actually knows this stuff. Like Wright does. I don't think Cowherd does.
Oh man, when he went on that rant the other not so long ago about Jason Tatum and how because he doesn't chalk his hands and he doesn't have like a grin or smile that he can't be the face of the NBA or some nonsense. Like I swear the guy just has a dartboard and just throws his dart at whatever's gonna make people click.
Yeah.
And goes, I'm gonna have that take today.
Oh, you mean how when he said, "Hey LeBron, it's okay, you can retire. We got Ben Simmons. We're good."
He has had a couple of those. Like I'm like, wait, he said what?
Speaking of the devil, we're due for a Ben Simmons 3-point shooting video. NBA season's coming around. Like if I don't get one of those, I'm gonna be pretty disappointed.
All right, we're about done here, huh? Right?
I think so. Yeah. Cool.
Larry, just for the record, the Celtics made like 6 baskets in the last quarter, and Larry Bird made 4 of them.
Yeah. So the conclusion clearly is that Larry Bird transferred to today's NBA easily, and Maxwell stole his Finals MVP.
100%.
Correct. Yep.
Am I the asshole? No, we already did that.
Well, since you're asking, I guess.
Oh, okay. That's it for me. Ori, thanks for talking.
Yeah, I saw that comment. I just about died. I was like, oh, they don't let this guy talk. I was like, oh, well, I guess next time I'm just gonna have to open up the fence. I'm going all for it. So
we also didn't have our LeBron defender on the show to cut us off whenever we.
Yeah, it was great.
Yes.
Yes, that is true, Jalen. I'm so sorry.
We love
LeBron
you, Jalen.
James. LeBron James still not the GOAT, but
Well, hey, listen, trust me, Jalen is having a great time. If he's at a Caravana, you guys don't know what Caravana is?
I have no idea what that is. Yeah, when I saw, I'm like, okay.
Now, is that Canadian for festival? What is that?
No, Caravana. Well, it is. Caravana is the Caribbean festival that we do here every year, and people from all over the world come because it's like the biggest Caribbean kind of parade party. Like Shaq's here typically every year. I don't think he came this year actually, but a bunch of celebrities are here, and they do like this. They dress up in really cool costumes, and they have a bunch of basically they're partying in the streets, and then they spill over and they party all weekend.
So basically, he's having a lot better time than we are. Clearly.
He is having a great time, absolutely. Yeah. So enjoy that, Jalen. Or you're allowed to talk. It's actually funny that when I read that comment, it reminded me a while back there was a comment that said something similar, that I don't let Chill talk on Fluent and Chill, and I was like, I said, well, oh my God, like did I cut him off? Like, because I don't want to do it. I know I talk a lot, but I try not. I try to say, okay, go, right? And so I watched the show. So we did 2 hours. I talked for 42 minutes total. And he talked for the rest because it's just him and I. And I'm like, man, they really don't. They just don't want to hear me talk. They just want, like, just go watch his show. Then he does a solo show. Like I don't know how much more time I can give someone. So I thought it was.
Clearly, they just got beef with you.
Yeah, that's fine. You know what I say to people who have beef with me, right? You know or no?
Well, I'm assuming you're going to click on something.
I was waiting for it. Yeah, same here.
Yeah, exactly. Love that.
We do not care. We do not care.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't care. I really don't give a shit. All right, Thursday.
Thursday, Thursday 8:00. Yeah, if you can check my again, like last week, if you don't watch baseball, then don't watch it. But actually, you can watch it if you don't watch it. It was a good episode. We had Clem from Barstool Sports. It was one of my favorite episodes I've ever recorded. So it was a great one. And then next Thursday,
baseball again.
Next week probably not, but it'll probably just be me and my brothers next week. Yeah, we'll be diving into our top 10 shooting guards because we did point guards 2 weeks ago. So yeah, we're going to dive into each.
Do you like this? Do you like this one better?
Yes. Oh, 3. Wait, is that 3 or is that just like a faded?
It was faded.
Okay. The one, the one that I played now, like the one that's up there, that's my favorite one.
Even better than this one?
I don't know. Like I'd have to listen to it maybe.
I keep trying to like outdo the other one. My goal is to get rid of that. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to delete it. Screw you. Thursday, I made a
Excellent.
Still have it saved.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Ori,
I'm just chilling. I'm hanging out. I'm enjoying being on this show. I am hopefully going to try to get some stuff going up. I've been talking to Kenny Anderson lately, and hoping.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, you guys know who that is? You never heard of that?
I've heard of him, but definitely.
But I've been hoping to try to have some communication with him and maybe get something going, like just a little interview or something, possibly. Maybe get it on the Sports Doing Network. But
Who's Kenny Anderson?
Huh?
Who is it?
Kenny Anderson?
Oh, Kenny Anderson.
Kenny, sorry. Yes, Kenny Anderson.
I thought you said Kelly Anderson, and I'm like, should I know who that
sorry.
is?
No, Kenny Anderson.
Oh, Kenny Anderson. Oh, well, heck, if you want to interview Kenny Anderson, bring him on Fluent and Chill.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping, something to that effect. I want to get you guys together, and maybe like I've been talking to some NBA guys on X, so I maybe get something up and running again. So
because that's that was the one thing that Tony Styles from the Hoopstorians, like I don't know how he does it. He always gets
awesome. He's the best.
He's got some networking abilities for sure.
He always gets the best people. I'm like, yeah, go nuts. He goes, no, I want to do it with you guys. I'm like, why? He goes, well, you and Chill have like a bigger audience than I do. And I'm like, I know, but how are you like Bob McAdoo and Xavier McDaniel and Tim Hardaway? And I'm like, dude, yeah, anytime, bro. Like, you'll never hear me say no.
He has gotten quite the guest list. I've been super impressed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Interesting. Okay, but are you doing anything like Hoop Social, TikTok? Like I see,
continuing to make videos, and hopefully trying to do. I've been trying to get a live series going where I can get my game show up and running, where we can do like some lives once or twice a week. Obviously, my health hasn't been the greatest in the world, so I'm just trying to get that up and running here shortly. I've been excited about it. I just haven't had the ability to actually apply it to TikTok. So I'm hoping within the next week or two I can start doing some of that. So
with Around the Horn gone, like there's a hole, man. There's a void.
There's a hole, and I feel like I have the friends and the guests that know the stuff. So
cool. All right. In that case, we're gone next week. Everybody's still good?
I think so.
Sounds good.
I like watching the game and just kind of the like doing the show while the game's
I like that too. Yeah.
I agree. We definitely have to follow this format.
Yeah, I like it. So we'll do that, and then until next week, now you're more fluent.
Oh, Canada.
Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
Nah, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.